Welcome back to Loud and Clear with Madison. I'm here with the awesome Kyle Shutt and Mike Gonzalez of The Sword. And Mike is also in a cool band called Eagle Claw. I'm going to ask him a few questions about Railhammer pickups. Are you ready?
I am. I love
right.
Railhammer pickups. I could probably answer every single one of these questions.
Yeah, you kind of know. So I want to start with Kyle. What can you tell us a little bit about your career?
My career as a whole, it's more like a flaming roller coaster that's going down like right now. But, music's tough for everybody, but it's in my blood. I can't stop for any reason. So, started with playing in punk bands and stuff when I was about 15 and jumping in a van and just with some random strangers ended up coming back to high school and being like, you know what, y'all, this is bullshit. I'm just going to get out early and move to Austin and join a band and go on tour with Metallica. And I did. It ended up happening eventually.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty weird. But the Sword started in about 2003 and it was just a snowball that didn't stop for 15 years and until we decided that maybe it was time to take a breather and go away for a little bit. And so that being said, I just fired up a bunch of side projects, the latest of which is my own name. It's just Kyle Shutt. I did a solo record just with me on every instrument and everything by myself, and I hamstrung a bunch of my friends to come play it live with me on a tour. And I got Electric Six to let us open for them for their whole summer tour. So yeah, it's just having fun. I did the Pink Floyd
Doom Side of the
heavy
Moon.
metal supergroup laser show thing that Reverend was kind enough to sponsor.
Right.
I know we're here to talk about Railhammer, but that all started with the Reverend Guitars connection and then us designing a guitar together. And and I just joined a new band called Mountain of Smoke from Fort Worth, and
cool.
we just made a record, and I'm gonna start pitching that soon. It's devastatingly heavy, so I'm really excited because my solo stuff is real just kind of fun punk rock, dance metal stuff, and I like music. I like all kinds of music. I like Bjork just as much as I like Behemoth. So everything's just we're all having fun here. You know what I mean? It's just what it's all about.
Mike, I want to hear a little bit about your career thus far. How'd you get started?
I have been in Eagle Claw for just about 10 years now.
Wow.
I know, right? I was in a few bands before that, but this is the band that,
You're not getting away with it. Tell them about Hobbits, man.
Hobbits.
Why you gotta bring that up, dog?
What is Hobbits?
That's the best band I ever saw you play.
So
no offense to
the
Eagle Claw,
first band I was ever in was a Lord of the Rings themed metal band.
Oh my God.
It was called Hobbits of the Shire.
Yes.
It was epic. Y'all have no idea. It was amazing.
My boyfriend and I were just talking today. There's a adult cartoon, I guess, called F is for Family, and the son in the family has a band called Shire of Frodo.
What?
And it's very much Lord of the Rings inspired.
That's that Bill Burr.
Yeah, that's right.
Animated series. That's right.
It's so funny.
God,
but
so
it just jogged my memory. That's really funny. So Hobbits. How long were you in that?
That was my first band. I was 21 when I started that one. Eventually, met this guy. We've been friends for probably
eons.
Better part of 15 years or so, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But joined Eagle Claw, and then we ended up hooking up with PV. So we're endorsed by PV. And PV led us to go to NAMM 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember this story's funny. We went up to the Reverend booth, and we were just nobodies, Penny was sitting there, Ken was there, and Ken was just like, oh man, just throw that CD in that pile over there.
Yeah.
And we did him one better. We put all of our stuff on a flash drive with our logo printed on it.
That's amazing.
And I remember we handed it to Ken, and Ken was just like,
check out this EPK, dude. That's awesome.
So that's how we ended up hooking up with Reverend.
Yeah.
And then I remember we showed you ours on that one tour, and then the rest. Now we're here doing this. So
history. That's awesome. So I'll start with you since you already have the mic.
Okay.
Mike.
What
are your biggest musical influences?
Well, Slash is definitely my favorite guitar player of all time. Love that guy. Jerry Cantrell, love Alice in Chains. Pantera, I don't know.
Yeah.
All the classics.
Ones,
yeah, I love that stuff.
For sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Kyle?
Yeah, people always say like, what's like the secret band listen to? I'm like, I don't know, Metallica. You know what I mean? Like, there's no secret band. Listen to the best bands. I grew up loving just anything I saw on MTV. I think the Green Day's Basket Case video was the video that made me go like, I think I can do that. And so I just consumed everything, from punk rock to metal to just old jazz. I mean, just any kind of music. It was just added up to a lot. When I moved to Austin in 2000, I grew up in a really small town with no record stores. There was like a Circuit City maybe, and really stuff sad. Like that. Yeah.
Circuit
so
City,
being able to like
rest in
pilfer, every record store in Austin back before vinyl got crazy overpriced and stuff. I just Queen, Rush, just every old record that I just could find in the dollar bin. I just devoured it all.
Oh
yeah. And also back in the day, and being in that small town, the only two bands that ever really came through on the regular were Pantera and ZZ Top. So I got to actually see them like.
Awesome.
Quite a bit, which is funny because I feel like the Sword really does fall like halfway in between Pantera and ZZ Top, somewhere in there. So that was
That's really funny.
That was where I got it going.
Is there a tone that you're chasing in your head?
Usually, yes, but it's like it's always changing. You know what I mean? So it's like as soon as I achieve something, I usually move on to the next thing.
Sure.
In a studio environment, when it comes to like recreating it live, though, you got to find a way to like make all those different sounds able to be like condensed into one, string of stuff. Because I'm not the kind of guitar player that's got like 18 pedals, all plugged in at once or anything. But my favorite, especially my Railhammer pickups, my signature series, was modeled after my own sort of take on like the Tom Scholl's pickup combo of a super distortion in the bridge and a P90. In the neck, and Joe Naylor dialed it in and made him a little bit hotter than even those two pickups are, and just a little bird told me that Joe Naylor thinks that the Kyle Shutt bridge pickup is the best Railhammer out there.
Oh, shameless
He didn't
plug.
tell me that, but I got a very good source on that one, so I believe it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, Mike, is there a tone that you're chasing in your head?
Yeah, always. That's like something I don't think any guitar player would ever fully find.
Right. You're always chasing it.
Always, yeah. But
Tinnitus makes it harder over the
Oh
years.
yeah, for sure.
Chasing this, I can't really hear it. It's like because
I
you
can't really hear
Yeah.
it.
yeah, like he said that like the studio tone and the live tone,
Oh, yeah.
those are two different things, and it's just trying to find that happy medium of like, cool, it sounds this way in the studio. How does that translate live?
Right.
Got to find the right heads, pedals, that whole thing. So,
And you play a Sensei RA, right?
Yes.
So how do the Railhammers help you achieve that sound you're looking
Oh, I
for?
love it. God, they're so crunchy when you need them to be
Yes.
crunchy, but then like Eagle Claw does like a lot of switches to like cleans, and it's perfect.
For sure.
the signal level doesn't drop. They're really good pickups.
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
Cool. Do you think Railhammers have changed the way you play?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Eagle Claw's been jamming those for 5 years now, and the way that we write and everything, like it changed all that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Kyle, I'll ask you first.
Yes.
What is your favorite venue to play? It's a fun question.
Oh wow. Okay. You know what? The Belly Up Tavern in San Diego, it's Solana Beach actually. It's just like this legendary old kind of like surf shack venue that like
nice.
everybody you've ever heard of has played there and still plays there. Like last time the Sword played there, I think 10,000 Maniacs was like the next night.
Oh, nice.
And it's like this weird little 600
That's so
seater
funny.
room that like I don't know. It's just like artists from just all through the decades just love that spot, and they'll go like do underplays there all the time just because it's so fun. That's one. Numos in Seattle is another one that just the Sword. I don't think we ever played a show there that wasn't sold out over 12 years of touring there and stuff.
Wow.
So it's just like a real special place for us,
Yeah.
and we're hitting it on the Electric Six tour. So it'll be
that's
really
exciting.
it'll be really fun to do it as just the Kyle Shutt band,
Yeah.
and see that room filled up with a completely different crowd. Because Electric Six is. Yeah, and the Sword are both rock bands, but they have
Right.
completely different fan bases and
For
stuff.
sure.
So I think it'll be really fun.
Yeah. And Mike, how about you?
Wait, the venue
Yeah.
question?
What's your favorite venue?
Oh God, I would have to say most memorable was probably when we were on tour with them.
Okay.
And remember that show at First Ave? Like sold out. Yeah.
Purple Rain. Rain, baby. I take it back. My favorite.
Yeah,
First Ave.
The first Ave was incredible. Like
It's in Minneapolis. It's where they filmed Purple Rain.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
a great
cool.
venue. Great venue.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was like I'll never ever forget that show. It was incredible.
I love asking that question because now, like, as I travel around the United States, I like want to hit up these places and go see shows there.
First Ave for sure.
For sure, will do.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Mike, what is on the horizon for you as an artist, specifically with Eagle Claw?
Eagle Claw is about to drop a new record in September.
Exciting.
Yeah,
Very
finally
soon.
our third record. It only took
Yes.
us like 7 years
Only
to
a
put it
million.
out. But also, this meeting this guy and playing in this band,
Yeah.
doing this thing. Hopefully, we're gonna exchange some riffs and
For sure.
continue this Kyle Shutt project.
As my friends
Yeah.
in Carnivore I like to say,
Yeah.
riff factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking at a riff factory right
That's
here.
right.
Go mining deep.
All right,
for the
Kyle,
riffs.
what's on the horizon for you?
The Mountain of Smoke record that I talked about is
Right.
going to be coming out soon. I don't know on what label. I'm getting ready to start pitching it around and stuff. But
Cool.
I'd love to make another Kyle Shutt record. I've been doing some soundtrack work for like video games and
Oh, awesome.
movies and stuff. So I'm just making music.
Oh, yeah.
It's any way that I can.
You're out
I'm
here.
not ever going to stop for any
sure.
reason unless I lose my arms. Then I'll probably figure out a way to still make music somehow.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for sitting down
Absolutely.
and talking to me.
Thank you for having us.
Excited to see what you guys have to offer, music-wise and otherwise. Thanks for tuning in to Loud and Clear with Madison. See you later.